What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from sneakerfiles.com, recapping the news. And before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, I do have a lot to go over in this video, but as for some of the highlights, I have exclusive details on the Air Jordan 4 Lakers. Yes, the Lakers. They do feature Imperial Purple, but this pair is actually known as Lakers. Also, you might notice that the mock-up I'm using is different from everyone else's, and there's a big reason for that, which of course I talk about later on in the video. As well, we have a preview of the Air Jordan 4 Black Cat, and additional photos of the Air Jordan 10 Still, which comes with retro packaging. Now, there's more from Jordan Brand, as well, a lot from Nike, including the return of the Nike Air Diamond Turf 2 Fire Red. Also, we got one thing from Adidas. And now, let's jump into the news. Clot and Adidas have another collaboration dropping, and this time it's going to be on the Stan Smith Beaded. Now, the overall look of the Stan Smith resembles that of simple pairs. It comes in all white. We have the 3 stripes perforations. But the true standout of this pair is that it's a beaded model. So as you can see on the heel, it has beads. The heel overlay features all beads, but it also has beads dangling off. Now this pair also comes with additional branding on the toes. And then we have a white midsole and a matching rubber outsole. So if this is something you like, they're going to drop on June 21st and they'll be available on adidas.com and juicestore.com. The retail price is $160. In this video, we have quite a few sets of official images across different shoes. And the first pair is the Nike SB Dunk Low Dark Team Red, also known as Dark Team Red in Olive Flak. This pair is clean in my opinion, but the official colorway is Dark Team Red, Burgundy Crush, Olive Flak, Parachute Beige, and Armory Navy. This is an inline pair, so this won't be a limited release by any means. And typically with these drops for SB, they get overlooked, but these are really nice. I think this is a perfect fall shoe. The suede gives it a premium feel, and then we have leather on the swooshes. Some people might not like it, but it kind of has an aged midsole and then a navy rubber outsole. But if you're a fan, they're expected to drop fall 2025, which means a release will take place between July and September. Also, the retail price will be $125. Another SB Dunk Low with official images, but we do have a release date for this pair, and this is the Nike SB Dunk Low Pro B Sequoia. So this is another pair that is a tribute to the Pro B series, which launched in the early 2000s and was a model that was created before the SB Dunk. It did feature a thicker tongue. It had additional padding, but eventually we would get the SB Dunk Low. Now this pair features a Sequoia in oil green colorway. There is a bit more to the shoes than what's listed. For example, we have white on the tongue label and the leather heel overlay. And they also come with a semi-translucent gum rubber outsole. It seems that people do appreciate the Pro B releases, and these are dope. Another great fall shoe in my opinion. Now, if you're a fan and you plan on picking them up, they're currently scheduled to be released on July 26th. And the retail price will be $130. Now, there is a possibility, more than likely actually, that these drop at skate shops before the July 26th release date, but that part hasn't been confirmed yet. A month, maybe longer than that, we received a first look at the A Ma Maniére Nike Air Force 1 Low Triple White and the A Ma Maniére Nike Air Max 95 Diffused Taupe. Now, just announced yesterday is release details for both of those pairs, and what I found is odd is the A Ma Maniére Air Jordan 5 is not part of this collection. Well, at least it's not releasing part of this collection. It might down the road. But what A Ma Maniére is calling this pack is that every summer tells a story. Now, unfortunately, I did some digging and I couldn't find anywhere the inspiration. Typically, A Ma Maniére, when they put something out, they label their collection something and they tell a description, what it's about, and so forth. That isn't the case, but we do have release details. So the Air Force 1 Low, I'm not sure why, but these are releasing in women's sizing. Again, it's probably a shoe that could drop in unisex sizing. It's clean. I understand some people might like it, some people may not. Now, as for the release info for this pair, there's a general raffle, which is now open for both US and international access via amamaniere.com. And the raffle has started yesterday, June 18th, and it'll run until June 23rd. The retail price will be $150, and as far as sizing goes, they will be in a women's size 5, which is a men's size 3.5, and it'll go up to a women's size 16.5, which is a men's size 14. So at least they do have extended sizing. Now, for the Air Max 95, same situation as the Air Force One. The raffle is open at amamaniere.com via the EQL raffle for both US and international, and it opened on June 18th and it'll run until June 23rd. The retail price will be $190. Now, this pair will be available in men's sizing, which starts at a men's size 3 and goes up to a men's size 16. Now, more than likely, both pairs will drop on the Sneakers app, but at this time, that information isn't available. If I had to guess, it'd probably be sometime in July. Also, it looks like both pairs will be available on A Ma Maniere's website as a first come, first served on June 27th. We have official photos of the Kobe Bryant Nike Air Force One Low Kobe Forever in white. Now, as some of you may know, there are 2 pairs dropping, one in white, one in purple. In a previous video, I did show off the purple pair, but with this official look, we can see a few different angles because prior to this, there were just random shots here and there. But what this pair is known for is the snakeskin detailing on the upper. As well, we have the number 8 and 24 embroidered on the heels. Now, we have a clear shot at both of the tongues, and the lace dubres read Mamba and Forever. So there might be a possibility, although what I saw, they were calling them Kobe Forever, that the name might be Mamba Forever. Maybe they changed it, but either way, it's a clean shoe. It's on the simple side. It also comes with the Kobe Shield logo on the lateral side. I'm more of a fan of the purple pair, but these are clean. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a release date at the time of recording, but they're expected to drop between July and September, and the retail price is also expected to be $130. Now, I heard about this pair maybe 2 months ago. I didn't have time to do a mock-up, but yesterday, official images popped up of the Nike Air Force One Low sunglasses. Now, a lot of people are calling this pair the Air Force One Low Invisible, which does make sense. However, what Nike is calling them is sunglasses. Now, the standout feature of this shoe is that it features translucent paneling, so that will land on the sides as well as the toe. Now, some of you might think this looks familiar, and you would be right. In 2006, Nike released the Fantastic 4-pack, and part of that pack was the Air Force One Low Invisible Woman. That shoe came with translucent areas on it. Now, this pair is a little bit different. It does have leather around the toe. The Invisible Woman pair and even the purple pair that dropped later on, the whole toe was see-through. Now, it appears that the sunglasses nickname is due to the gradient detailing where the translucent areas are. It kind of goes from a blue to just a see-through clear, which sunglasses, they reflect in light and they kind of give off that illusion. Now, the official colorway on this shoe is white, university blue, and pure platinum. They also feature the signature perforations on the toe, and even though they have those, wearing them this summer, you're going to see people with some foggy windows, that's for sure. That was a thing with the Invisible Woman. People would wear them sometimes without socks, and it was just a bad look in my opinion. They do feature university blue accents, and the lace dubres have AF1 with diamonds in them. Finishing the look is a blue semi-translucent rubber outsole. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a specific release date for this pair, but they're going to drop between July and September, and the retail price will be $130. More official images, and this time it's of Caitlin Clark's Nike Kobe 5 Protro Indiana Fever. And with these official images, I think these look really nice in my opinion. The images that were going around prior to, it wasn't bad. Just typically, it's something to do with the official photos, the lighting, it just makes them look so much better and all the different angles. But unfortunately, for some people, this pair does not have Caitlin Clark branding. Since we have pretty much every angle available, you can't see it on the insoles, nor the outsole, but the colorway does match up to her team, as well as she was wearing pretty much this same exact shoe on court months back. This pair also has gradient detailing on the swoosh, tongues, and heel. I think I like that look the best. And then we have midnight navy across the base. Overall, it's a nice shoe. I think it's clean. I probably won't go after them just because there's so many releases coming out. And I'm sure somebody is a huge Caitlin Clark fan as well as a Kobe fan who will appreciate these more. But as for now, the release date is expected for June 30th and the retail price is $190. we have another dope pair of the Nike Air Max Uptempo 95 returning, and this pair is known as Bulls Away. Now, a lot of people are saying that this is an OG colorway. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but some are saying it's an OG colorway. I couldn't find anything about them initially dropping in 95 or even 96. However, the first time I saw a release take place was 2019. I could be wrong on that, so let me know down in the comment section below. But this pair features a varsity red, black, and white color combination, and going over the pair, it features red leather up top. We have black nubuck on the mudguard. Black also lands on the tongue and most of the rubber outsole. The swoosh logos, Air, and the laces are done in white, and then the Air Uptempo branding is dipped in red. This shoe is always associated with Scottie Pippen, although a lot of NBA players wore this model during the 90s. So that's another reason why they're called Bulls Away. Now, the images used is the 2019 pair, and as for a specific release date, we don't have one, but spring 2006 is when they're expected to drop, which means they'll take place between January and March. Also, the retail price is $170. Now, this release I'm a bit confused on. Actually, I'm really confused on it, and this is the Nike Air Max 95 OG Bright Mandarin 2.0. Yes, we just saw the release of the Bright Mandarin Air Max 95 back in June, this month actually, and we're already getting a 2.0 within 3 months, unless something gets delayed. Now, if you're just glancing over this shoe, there doesn't look like there's much of a difference with this pair versus the initial drop. And I'm going to be honest, the changes are so minimal that in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to release them again. Now, don't get me wrong. I know the Bright Mandarin was limited. It sold out. But why not just release the exact same pair again? Anyways, the 2.0. Let's talk about the differences. Now, there's an extra shade in the colorway. The official colorway on this is white, bright mandarin, wolf gray, light smoke gray, and black. The initial drop was dressed in white, bright mandarin, and wolf gray. And yes, the style code on both are different, so it is a different model. Now, what is different on this pair compared to the initial drop? The orange, it's a little more darker in my opinion. And I mean, it's slightly. Now, the overlay on the tongue, that is done in metallic silver. It shines a bit more compared to the June release. Now, the biggest difference between the two is the outsole. So the outsole on this pair, it lacks the PSI labels, which I'm sure some people may not even notice. Now, if you want something close to the OG, then the initial drop definitely was. But if you like the overall color blocking, then I feel that grabbing this pair isn't a huge difference. I just don't get why they're releasing a pair that's slightly different within months. I feel that they should just restock the Bright Mandarin pair. Also, if you own the pair that dropped earlier this month, then in my opinion, I don't think you should pick these up. But if you don't own that pair and you like them, then this is another chance to own something very close to that. But as for a specific release date, unfortunately, we don't have one, but they are expected to drop between July and September, and the retail price will be $190. In previous videos, I've been teasing that I have some big information to leak. Well, this is one of them, and unfortunately, I didn't get to leak the information. Somebody beat me to it, but I'm here to confirm that yes, the Nike Air Diamond Turf 2 Fire Red, also known as Red and Gold, will return in 2026. Now, a lot of people still to this day, because I got a comment maybe 2 days ago calling the Diamond Turf the 49ers pair, which is actually the Falcons pair. But this is the model that he wore playing for the 49ers, and they initially dropped in 1994. Now, although I feel that this colorway screams 49ers more than the other pair because there's a white base pair and that one is known as 49ers, this one is known as Fire Red or just simply Red and Gold. This is more of a 49ers shoe to me. Like, I would think this pair would be like a 49ers away or something, the other one being a 49ers home, but it's just known as something different. But that's besides the point. This is my favorite model from Deion's signature line, and I'm super happy that they are returning. Now, the images used is not the 2026 pair. This is the 2012, which is when they last dropped. Now, what I heard is that they're going to make this pair closer to the OG, so the overall shape. And another thing you may notice is that on the tongue of the images shown, it says Nike Diamond Turf. That should have his number 21 on it. That's like the OG. I like this colorway more than the 49ers pair, but don't get me wrong, if the other one does release, which I do believe it will, I'm buying those as well. And this is coming from somebody who is not a 49ers fan. I think this is an incredible shoe. Now, as for the release date, unfortunately, we don't have one again, but expected to drop spring 2026, meaning a release will take place between January and March. Also, the retail price will be $170. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and I have an update on the Air Jordan 5 Luminous Green. Now, I did talk about this in my summer 2025 Air Jordan and Nike release dates video, but if you missed out on that video because it was like an hour long, maybe you missed some parts, maybe you didn't see it, either way, there will be a link in the description below. But this pair has a release date change. Now, before I get to that, just a heads up, this is a mock-up. I'm not sure how they're going to look. However, the official colorway is Cell, Luminous Green, and Anthracite. As well, this pair will drop in women's sizing. Now, initially, they were supposed to drop on July 5th, but they have been delayed until August 30th. Also, the retail price is expected to be $200, although these could go up to $205. We have a new kids exclusive Air Jordan 3 dropping in July, and this pair is known as Cobalt Bliss. Now, the colorway kind of reminds me of Cotton Candy. I guess the blue isn't as vibrant. And the pair features a white Cobalt Bliss, football gray, and pink glow colorway. So as you can see, the shoes feature white leather up top. We have Cobalt Bliss, a shade of blue around the toe and heel, with elephant print, of course. We also have blue on the ankle, which appears to be a denim material. And blue also lands on the liner, but adding some additional pop, we have pink on the Jumpman branding and eyelets. Other details includes a white midsole, and then we have a little bit of white on the outsole with blue and pink. Now, this pair will come with the OG Air Jordan 3 box, and it comes with a sticker. Now, typically, I don't talk about stickers, but I've never seen this type of sticker before. Maybe it came with GS shoes. I typically don't pick up grade school shoes, and when I do, it's not this style. So it has kind of like a tie-dye weird look to it. It almost looks like, some of you might remember this. Maybe you guys have sisters or somebody in your class in elementary school during the 80s and 90s, but Lisa Frank, she did a lot of school supply stuff, and the design of that kind of reminds me of it for some reason. Now, I will include a picture of the sticker just because it's different. I don't think that's the selling point of the shoes, but I just wanted to throw that in. But for the kids, these aren't bad. Now, as for a release date, this pair is currently scheduled to drop on July 24th, and the retail price will be $150. We also have official photos of the Air Jordan 14 Golf, as well as a potential release date. Now, one thing I will say about the Air Jordan 14 Golf, something I do like, is that it's a hybrid. It's a cross between the low and the mid. I do wish that Jordan Brand would release this style sometimes, not on an OG colorway because we want that true to OG form, but like a new colorway because I think it looks kind of dope. Now, the Golf version borrows the color blocking from the 2020 general release, and other than the cut, the other difference would be that they feature spikes on the outsole. They also feature Jordan Golf branding on the insoles. I don't know if anybody who watches this channel golfs, but this could be a potential good pickup for you. I'm eventually going to buy them because I need to buy every 14, but I do want to wait until they go on sale. And as for the release date, they are expected to drop on July 1st. The retail price will be $235. We have more product shots of the Air Jordan 12 French Blue, and these images come from JD Sports UK. This pair is one of the more anticipated releases, at least for August, although August we also had the Shattered Backboard Air Jordan 1, amongst other pairs. You can see all the popular releases from Jordan Brand in the summer 2025 Air Jordan and Nike release dates video that I dropped earlier in the week. There will be a link in the description below. But like always with each set of photos, the shape looks different. These do not look so bad. Something I've always complained about is the pinch that's below that bottom eyelet, and that has a lot to do with being factory lace. So maybe they decided to loosen some of them up, they tightened some of the others. Something I don't know, but maybe they're produced in two different factories because that's why we're seeing two different looks when it comes to product shots. Either way, it's a dope shoe for sure. This pair initially dropped in 2004. It was worn by Carmelo Anthony and Kobe Bryant. We would see a second retro take place in 2016. I own that pair. It's nice in my opinion. The only differences that I could see from the photos is the packaging. The 2016 came with a Jumpman on the box. This will come with the swoosh like the OG Jordan 12 box, I should say. But yeah, if you don't own the 16 release, this is a great pickup, or if you really like the colorway, then it's a great pickup as well. But for now, they're scheduled to drop on August 16th. They will drop in full family sizing, but I don't have the retail price breakdown for that. And the retail price is expected to be $200, but don't be surprised if they go up to $205 or $210. Official images also leaked of the Air Jordan 1 High OG shattered backboard. Now, some people are speculating that we may get a shock drop of these because the official images loaded so early. Now, they recently had a release date change. They're going to drop in August, towards the end of August, and I'll go over that in a moment. But I can't confirm if a shock drop is going to happen, at least not yet. But I will say that there's several reasons why we could be getting official images so early. One, they were supposed to drop in July. I believe July 12th, which it's still a little bit early for officials to leak, but it could happen. Also, these could still drop on July 12th overseas, but in the US, they're expected to be released in August. Now, when images were going around product shots, there was an issue, at least that I saw, and a lot of others did as well, and it was the Wings logo. The Wings logo looked super small on that pair. Now, it does look a little bit smaller on the official images, but it's about right. But those one photos we saw, I forgot which retailer it was from. It was either from JD Sports or Size, both authentic, of course. That Wings was super small. Now, the overall shape looks good in my opinion. It is updated compared to the 2015 pair. Now, if you like the overall color blocking and everything, cool, but if you're expecting the same leather quality, what I'm hearing is that it's not the same. I don't want to confirm that because I haven't had them in hand, but I've talked to people who have both the OG and the new pair, and it's not the same. But some of you might remember months, and I mean months back, when this information initially leaked about the SBBs coming back. I told you guys from my source who had the shoe in hand said the quality wasn't as good. I'm not saying it's bad quality, but it's not the premium quality of the OG release. I just want to make that clear. We also have another shot of the packaging, which I will include. I do like the packaging on these. It has shattered glass throughout and also orange Nike branding. Now, as for the release date, they are scheduled to drop on August 23rd. And instead of $180, the retail price will be $185. So these will be going up $5. Okay, so product shots of the Air Jordan 10 still leaked, I believe it was last week, and I did showcase them in the summer 2025 Air Jordan and Nike release dates video. However, we have additional photos on top of that, but I'm going to show you both sets, the product shots that I showed in the previous video and the new set, because the new set shows the packaging. And in my opinion, the packaging is really dope. However, these news outlets are getting the information wrong, so I want to clear something up about that. Now, before I get to the packaging though, I want to talk about the shoes. My opinion, they look really, really good. I think the overall shape and mold looks very close to the OG. Yes, it does have the extra leather piece on them, but man, that shape looks really good in my opinion. It's starting to get me to want to ignore the fact that it does have the extra piece on the toe, just because of the shape. And the overall look just looks like the OG. They also come with blue detailing, which is also like the OG. And just to run a little bit of history down for you guys, I'll keep it quick. This pair initially dropped in 1994. We saw the first retro take place in 2005. And then the last time they dropped was in 2013. Now, let's talk about the packaging. This box is really dope in my opinion. However, this is not the OG box for the Air Jordan 10. A lot of people are saying this is the OG box. This is what they came with. No, this box is the first retro box that Jordan Brand released when they retroed Air Jordan. So, between 1994 and 95, we saw a retro release of the Air Jordan 2 and the Air Jordan 2 Low, the Chicago colorway. We also saw the Air Jordan 3 White Cement and the Black Cement, and the Air Jordan 1 Chicago in Bread. Those 6 pairs came with this box. The Jordan 10 came in a similar box as the Jordan 11. So no, this is not the OG Air Jordan 10 packaging. This is actually the first retro box that Jordan Brand used. Is it dope? Yes. Do I enjoy it? Yes. I own the Air Jordan 2 and the Air Jordan 2 Low from 94. I believe it was 94 or 95. I forget the year. But I own both of those, and they come with this packaging, and I always like the packaging. It comes with this huge retro card in it. I wonder if this pair will come with a retro card. That would be dope. Now, as for the release info, this pair is currently scheduled to drop on August 2nd, and the retail price is $210, although it could be $215. This is a pair that a lot of people are hyped for. It's the Air Jordan 4 Black Cat. It's a very simple shoe. It comes dressed in all black with anthracite detailing. Now, it isn't an OG colorway, but it was initially dropped in 2006. This pair also came with a poster with Michael Jordan hitting what's known as the shot over Craig Ehlo, and that took place in 1989. Now, 5 years ago in 2020, we would see a retro take place of this shoe. Now, what I've gotten wrong in the past, I thought that these sold out, but no, that isn't the case. I mean, yes, they eventually did, but not right away. Somebody told me that TikTok, because I wasn't on that TikTok phase then, I am now for Sneaker Files. Yes, there is a Sneaker Files TikTok, but apparently stuff went viral, and that's where the shoe sold out and started going for like $1,000, which that never made sense to me. Sure, it's a dope shoe, but $1,000? That's a lot of money. In 2025, we have the return, but the difference with this pair is that it will have Nike Air as well. The overall shape will be updated to reflect the OG pairs. So, several days ago, images leaked giving us a preview of the 2025 release, but we should be getting a full first look within the next couple days. Now, these preview photos, it shows the tongue, the toe, and the most important part, the heel. It shows that, yes, they will come with Nike Air branding. You guys might remember I told you months back that the shoes would return, but with Nike Air. Now, the reason why we're getting these preview photos, in my opinion, I feel that the shoes are not assembled. It's one of those pairs that might have been stolen from the factory. So you can kind of see just, the upper, the important part. Because I remember there was a time where people would leak images and you had the midsole not even attached. I feel like these are one of those shoes, but at least the images, the quality isn't bad. We could see what's going on. We have anthracite on the branding, black throughout. It's overall a simple shoe, but it's a clean pair. Now, again, we should be getting a first full look very soon. And as for the release info, this pair is scheduled to drop on November 28th, which is Black Friday. And the retail price for now is $225, but these could go up. I'm not sure the new retail price on Air Jordan 4s with Nike Air. It could go up to $230 or even $235. I hope not. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this very simple preview. I mean, what we see, which isn't a ton, it's dope. I do like the addition of Nike Air. Now, the second shoe that I've been teasing about leaking, some of the details did get out, but it's very vague. There was a lot of people thinking it's this, thinking it was something else. But I'm here to say that, yes, in 2026, we are going to get the Air Jordan 4 Lakers. Now, there's been multiple mock-ups of the shoe going around. However, what is shown is an accurate mock-up. This is how the 2026 pair will actually look. So forget all those other mock-ups you've been seeing. This is what we're getting. And people have been calling them Imperial Purple, which that is the colorway. It's just simply Imperial Purple and multicolor. So I have noticed that Jordan Brand is trying to disguise things from leakers. They're not telling the full colorways or the full color description. But either way, I can't say much about it, but I can say that this will be the color blocking. Now, this is for sure a Lakers release. There's a description tying it into Lakers and the All-Star Game, since the All-Star Game will be held in Los Angeles in 2026. Now, there's something I do want to mention about the All-Star Game, but I'm going to do that later on. Now, the official colorway is Imperial Purple in multicolor, and the shoes will feature purple nubuck on the upper, and it will be premium. The shoes will also feature black on the winged eyelets. The top of them will be in gray, like a light gray. Black also lands on the mesh netting, laces, the tongue patch, heel tab, and upper part of the midsole. Now, they will have a little bit of an aged look. It's not so bad. It's more just like a faint aged, and that will be around the Air unit. Now, tying it into the Lakers theme, we will have yellow/gold. It's more of a yellow on the Jumpman and the Nike Air on the heel, because yes, they will come with Nike Air. Now, something I've been liking about the 4s is that this pair will have a somewhat mostly translucent rubber outsole, and it comes up onto the midsole. I believe the Air Jordan 4 Cavestone has that same translucent look, but different coloring, of course. Now, the details that I was told by my sources that the shoe is labeled ASW Lakers. So what does ASW stand for? All-Star Weekend. Lakers, obvious reasons, and the colors match up. But what I find funny is I know Lakers fans pretty much dominate LA, but they do have a second team in LA, the Clippers. And the 2026 NBA All-Star Game is actually for the Clippers and not the Lakers. It's going to be held at the Intuit Dome. So I'm not sure if Jordan Brand just doesn't really care. They know the Lakers are a more popular team, and since the game is still being held in LA, they don't mind it. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that little bit out there because I just found it interesting when I was doing research and whatnot. But I think this pair is dope. I really like this shoe, and I'm a Kings fan. We've had beef with the Lakers. Well, not anymore, but in the early 2000s, there was a lot of issues going back and forth. We had the whole battle. And at that time, I hated the Lakers. I hated Kobe Bryant. I liked Shaq. I met Shaq, and he was such a cool, down-to-earth guy, and I watched him in movies, so it was hard not to like him. But then later on, I grew to like Kobe. My Kings sucked for the longest time. There was no longer any issues, and Kobe was a fun player to watch. But yes, this pair is really dope. Now, they're expected to be a GR. This is expected to be a pretty big release. And I was also told February 2026. However, I think it's going to drop February 14th. I believe that is a Saturday. So more than likely, these are going to drop February 14th. And the retail price could be $225 or it could be $230. I'm not entirely sure what the price, how much it's going to go up for Jordan 4s with Nike Air. But let me know your thoughts on this pair down below. Again, this is an accurate mock-up of what's releasing. They're known as Lakers. This is what Jordan Brand is calling them. As well, expected to be a GR, but I'll definitely have more information for you guys soon. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, for this week, I think I am done dropping videos. There's some things I've been thinking about. I've been doing reviews now for, I don't know, like 6 months. Like full video reviews, not shorts. I've been thinking about hanging it up. I want to get your guys' opinion on it. Now, the reason why I'm thinking about stopping is, one, they're not getting the views, and that kind of seems bad. Like, typically I don't care about the views, but what I've noticed is they're actually hurting my news videos. Because I'm dropping so many videos now, people aren't getting the notification for the news videos, and those are the more important videos. Those will always be the number one on this channel. And no, this isn't something like I'm asking people to like and watch them. It's totally up to you guys if you want to or not. I'm probably going to give it a couple more months just to see how things go. I probably will continue to do shorts because those are fun, but the review videos, they take a lot of time, almost as long as these news videos. But the news videos, I really enjoy. The reviews, they're cool. They're just not as fun as the news videos. But like always, this channel is about you guys, so just let me know your thoughts down below. Now, I still plan on dropping a review on the Air Jordan 3 Pure Money. Probably not this week, maybe Monday or Tuesday. It depends because I hope more news stacks up over the weekend, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave those down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to sneakerfiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.